Push! One more time! Push! Then I heard it, the first cry of my daughter. A sound so delicate, so pure, the most beautiful sound a mother could ever hear. But before I could take it all in, the midwife screamed in terror. No! No! What is this? She's a demon! This is not human! She must be killed! Still weak, I forced myself to sit up, shaken by the panic in her voice. And then I saw her, my baby, my daughter, the one I loved more than anything in this world. But she was different. To others, she was a monster, but to me, she was simply my baby girl. The midwife fled the room in horror. I ignored her. I reached out and picked up my child, gazing into her unusual glowing eyes. Her body was part human, part serpent. Her skin shimmered with scales, half snake, half child. But I wasn't afraid. I wasn't horrified. I wasn't even sad. All I felt was regret. Regret that I had caused this. I was impatient. I was reckless. I was desperate. And now, nature had punished my daughter for my mistakes. 10 years ago, I married David, the love of my life. Everything was perfect. Our days were filled with laughter, love, and dreams for the future. But after 2 years of marriage, something began to trouble me. We weren't using any form of family planning, yet I wasn't getting pregnant. I confided in David, and he gently reassured me, "It's okay, we'll have our baby soon." Those words gave me hope. We began trying, properly, intentionally, and then the miracle happened. I was pregnant. It was the happiest moment of our lives. We decorated the nursery with bright colors and filled it with every kind of toy. I was filled with excitement, but on the 5th month, I started to bleed. I was rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. I had a miscarriage. It was the darkest day of my life. I cried until there were no tears left in me. David tried everything to comfort me. He was good at that. Eventually, I began to heal, and we decided to try again. I conceived again. But in the 5th month, another miscarriage. Again, and again, and again. 5 miscarriages, each one more painful than the last. On the 5th one, I was too weak to move. I lay in bed, drained of hope. Then the doctor came in. Her eyes were heavy. She looked at David and me with sorrow. She told us the worst news imaginable. Because of the repeated miscarriages, your womb is damaged. You'll never be able to carry a child again. David broke down in tears. I didn't. I couldn't. I felt numb. There were no more tears left in me. After we were discharged from the hospital, I returned home feeling empty. David tried everything to make me cry, to get some emotion out of me, but I couldn't. He was worried about my silence, about how I spent all day in the baby's room, refusing to step outside. I just sat there, lost in the emptiness. Then, one day, my friend Jemima came to visit. David left us alone to talk. She leaned in close and whispered in my ear, "I'm sorry for everything you've been through, but what if I told you there's a way for you to give birth?" Those words were like music to my ears, the sweetest thing I'd heard since my last miscarriage. "How?" I asked immediately. "I'll tell you, but there will be consequences." I didn't hesitate. "I don't care. I can handle whatever comes, as long as I can have a child." Her words gave me hope. David noticed a change in me after Jemima's visit. He saw a flicker of light return to my eyes, but he didn't know the darkness behind it. That night, I met Jemima again. We drove through silent roads and arrived at the edge of a forest. It was nearly 11 p.m. Despite the fear creeping up my spine, I followed her deep into the woods. I wanted a baby, more than anything. We reached an abandoned house, crumbling and hidden among the trees. Strange symbols were carved into the walls. Odd objects hung like charms, giving off a foul energy. She led me into a dark room. The moment I stepped inside, a chilling wave of terror washed over me. Jemima, maybe this was a mistake. I want to leave, I whispered, turning to go. But then, a voice, dark and inhuman, echoed through the room.
It doesn't work that way. Since you entered this place, you must complete what you came to do, or your entire bloodline will perish.
I froze. I couldn't believe what I had walked into. The voice spoke again, calmly now, but firm and terrifying. It laid out the conditions and the price. If I refused to follow the ritual, a curse would fall upon me and everyone I loved. I hated Jemima for dragging me into this, but it was too late. The task I had to complete was horrifying, unnatural, but I had no choice. I returned home that night, devastated. David noticed something was wrong. He asked me what was bothering me, but I said nothing. I made dinner. I watched him eat. Then I watched him choke, clutching his throat, gasping for water. I didn't move. I didn't speak. Because I had poisoned him. That's what the voice demanded. I watched him take his last breath, the man I once loved more than anything in this world. Then I called Jemima. She was prepared. She helped clean up all the evidence, and we buried his body in our backyard. But it didn't end there. Every night at midnight, I had to go to his grave and offer an animal sacrifice, sprinkle its blood over the soil, and I did. Eventually, something unexplainable happened. I conceived, without ever lying with a man. Yes, they say desperation is the enemy of reason, and now I believe it. Despite all the darkness I had embraced, I was filled with hope again. This time, I passed the 5th month. No bleeding, no miscarriage. I was overjoyed. But now, I had given birth to a snake girl. I looked into her strange, hypnotic eyes. I asked myself, what am I going to do with her? In panic, I ran out of the room, fearing the nurses or midwife might come back to harm her. 7 years have passed since I gave birth to my daughter. I named her Lalastrah. She's still in that room, the one we used to call the nursery. I'm afraid to go in now, afraid of what she's become. Every night she feeds on blood, human blood, my blood. I've been taking blood supplements just to survive, but she's never satisfied. Still, I love her. I have to. It's my fault after all. At just 7 years old, she already looks like a grown woman, tall, graceful, and terrifying. Enough of this. Let's go see her.